Hi, I'm FlowXC, it's my gamer tag name, and I was in the hospitality industry for 8 years, and I ended up quitting, so I'm currently unemployed in a high cost of living city in the city of Toronto, where wages are extremely low, people are struggling with their basic necessities, unemployment rates are high, and a lot of my friends and family are shocked that I did it because I don't have a backup plan. And I really want to explain why, mostly for myself, and that's part of the reason why I'm making this video. I feel like if I talk about it, I'll really be able to explain my thoughts and sort of uh, get a clear picture of what direction I want to take next. Um, so, to really get into it, back in 2017, I had this idea that one of the most important skills to learn in life is the ability to talk to people in any sort of environment from different parts of life. And I thought the best way to do it was through bartending. I grew up as an only child, a single mother, and I didn't really have that social skill even after I graduated university. So as soon as I finished, I went into bartending. I didn't know anything about alcohol, cocktails, beers, wines, and I really dived head first into this thing, thinking that I really wanted to learn this skill of learning how to talk to people. And I found out that I really enjoyed it because when you're behind the bar, it's really the central hub of meeting people from around the world. I get to meet people from Australia or the UK or Germany or South America without ever having to leave this country. So it's almost like I'm traveling, except it's all behind the bar. And I thought, wow, this is amazing. I could do this forever. And the pandemic hit, so obviously everything shut down, and I went into IT because I thought, well, I need to learn a skill that would help me around the world no matter where I am. Because I was thinking maybe I should travel or go to Spain, that sort of stuff. Because I met so many people from different parts of the world already. And I did IT and I really didn't like it because when you're working remotely, even though you're talking to people through a screen, you feel really isolated and you don't have that human to human interaction that you get when you're face to face. And that really made me sad. So I ended up quitting halfway through the pandemic because I wasn't happy. And I guess that's a theme in my life. If there's something that I don't like, I end up quitting. And I really got that. I think it was a quote from Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. He had this interview where he explained that, would you do this job for $1? And if you do it, it means that it's probably the right job for you because you do it for free. It means that you love it. And I know that's a little bit contradictory to what a job is because a lot of people do a job to make money. But I was really thinking, I want to do a job that I like. You're spending 40 hours a week of your waking day doing a task, and you should like it to some degree. So that has always been my thought process for the longest time. I think it's been almost a decade now. And when I when the pandemic ended, I went back into bartending. Although this time was a little bit different. I ended up working at a club, and in a club environment, it's a little bit different from talking to people and getting to know them and really loving the job and that sort of stuff. All you're really doing is serving alcohol to people and getting them more and more drunk throughout the night. And I thought alcohol, it is a social sort of butter to loosen people up, but it's also a poison. I bartended for a long time, and majority of that time I didn't drink because I thought this really messes with people. And I struggled with it because I love the social aspect and talking to people and getting to know them, but at the same time you're serving them poison. And I just and at the same time when you're working at a club, you're thinking, I just want to make more money. So it became, I'm going to learn how to talk to people, I'm going to get to know them, I'm going to learn about them, to this toxicity of getting them more and more drunk so I could make more money. And the more drunk they get, the more they buy. And this sort of toxic circle where I am the dealer and I am providing them with their substance. It's it felt slimy. And what happened was I was let go from that club. Maybe I'll explain it another time. But because at that point I was really well known in the hospitality industry, I was approached by another club manager and he asked me to manage a club. And I thought, like this is a little bit of a change, so I'll do it. And it was really a terrible experience for me because I learned directly from managers and the owners of this club on how to market and sell a place. And I'm not a salesperson. I feel like when you bartend, even that's not really a salesperson because people come to the bar already knowing what they want. They want a drink, they want food. A salesperson is you're trying to sell something to somebody that they don't even know they want the product and you're trying to force it down their throat almost. And this club was opening and I had to sell the club basically. And that was fine. I think that, I guess that's just part of life. If you're starting a new company, you want to promote it, you want to increase the brand awareness, that sort of stuff. What I didn't like was that when the club opened, you really start catering to people that have money, that want to throw around their money. I don't know if they have it. Maybe it's credit card debt, or maybe they are rich, but they're willing to spend 5,000 in a night, and you cater to these people because they have money. And that really bothered me because my original reasoning for going into this industry was to connect with people, to talk to people, and I didn't realize it, but I was thinking like, wow, I'm really just doing this for the money now. And it bothered me a lot. The sense of how ethical it is and my morality, and do I want to be this person in my 30s? In my 20s it makes sense. Everyone's partying, having a great time. But I'm 31 now, and do I want to be in my late 30s and 40s still in this night industry and giving people alcohol and getting people drunk and being in this environment where everyone's trying to one up the other person and flex with what they have, especially in the city of Toronto? I feel like everyone is trying to really showboat themselves and they're almost like peacocks. This is what I have and I'm going to show it to the world and I'm going to impress people. And it just wasn't something that I thought that was sustainable for my soul. And I'm in my 30s now and I'm thinking I want a family, I want a dog, I want a house. And it's hard because in the city of Toronto you can't, if you don't come from money, it's hard to really think about these things. And so people work their whole lives trying to attain this ideal lifestyle, and I didn't think I wanted it until I hit my 30s. It really hit me. I thought, this is what I want now. I don't want this partying where everyone's drunk and money's being thrown around. It's just not I don't think I'd be happy in my 80s looking back. This is what I did my whole life. And so I quit. I told my boss I'll give him my 2 weeks, and he was shocked because I guess I was really good at my job. I catered to these people. I catered to the wealthy. I catered to customer service, but I did it at that time for money. It was no longer about doing it for that human to human interaction. And I think I got lost along the way. And so now I'm in my 30s. I have a roommate. I don't have a long-term girlfriend. I don't think I'm anywhere close to where I want to be with a dog and a house and a family. And I felt that the only way to move forward to that direction was to not be in this industry. I'm sure there are a lot worse things going on in the world. People are dying. People are suffering. And here I am complaining about my job. And I do my best to be grateful for what I have. My mom, she came by herself from the Philippines, and she really she worked hard to make sure that I have a good life. Um, I want to be able to provide for her and for everyone else and my friends and family around me. And I think that quitting was a step in the right direction. And I really want to sit down and think about how do I want to be as a person towards my kids when they're grown up and my friends and my family. I don't want to be this person where I'm just a party guy and live this lavish lifestyle. I'm sick of all of it. Uh, so I think that I'll just keep making things like this for now. It's summertime in the city of Toronto, so I really want to enjoy it and be outside and bike and be with my friends that I grew up with and my family and just really take some time. And I feel privileged that I'm in a position where I could really sit down and think and ponder about things like this. Um, I've always been a pretty optimistic person. I would say maybe 60 to 80% of the time. Um, I always hope for the best, and I think that's the most anyone can do. So I hope whoever's watching this, do you have a direction? Like, what have you figured out life? Has anyone figured out life? What sort of steps do you take to sort of achieve that, this sort of wholesome life that I want to strive for? And what sort of struggles do other people have? These are things that I like learning and wondering about other people, and I want to go back to that. I want to learn about other people and hear their stories and where they're from and their struggles. And I don't want to be caught up in this whole rat race of making more money and impressing people that don't matter. And and I want to go back to that. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful, and I think the most I can do is be grateful what I have for what I have, and see where life takes me from here. So